don't understand is how people could listen to something but not comprehend it. They hear it as something that it's not. How could anybody in their right mind deny facts that are obvious, especially when we talk about our known wildlife? Our known wildlife, if you don't know what they do, then you need to get out. You need to research and study. You cannot say they don't do these things when they do. When I speak about wildlife, it's all fact. There's no speculation when I speak about what they do and what they're known for doing. It's all true fact. And all I do is present research, both on the cryptid side to the real logical side. Because everything has a logical explanation for every happening. Okay? If a Sasquatch is doing it, I'll share my opinion on if I believe there is something else doing it, and I'll explain why I believe there is something else doing it. Because what I do in my field, at all costs, I try to rule out everything that's obvious, everything, especially unknown species. You got to consider what they're capable of doing. If you don't know, you better learn. You better ask somebody. Because if you're denying that fact, then you don't have no business in the Bigfoot world. Because if you're denying what our obvious species are doing, then you're just totally lost. You're in the wrong field. You're researching something that not acknowledged to exist when you're denying what does exist. People, you need to wake up. You need to know what real facts are versus what's speculation. Because if it's speculation, I'll point that out to you. It's all common sense. Get a clue, people. I'm back again. Need to share something with you. You realize many people in the Bigfoot community, a lot of you, you're friends with. I'm friends with a lot of these people too. But they're getting to the point where truth is starting to hurt them. When you're trying to be honest and share real stuff with them, they're not taking it too lightly. They're taking it as an offense. And maybe they feel that you're trying to make them look stupid and retarded. No, if that's the case, a lot of these people are doing it to themselves, okay? Truth is, I have evidence to back up what I speak about. And what I speak about is what I've been saying. Wildlife research is what I do. I've kind of took a step back from the Bigfoot side of things. I've been focusing more on wildlife, our known wildlife. And I need to point out some obvious facts about wildlife. Because there's facts about wildlife people are neglecting. But man, do they hate it. Because what you're doing, you're destroying their dream, you're destroying their fantasy, and you're just opening up the true world of reality. And people don't want to live in reality. They're happy living in their fancy go-get-em kind of world, I'm sorry, but it's time to wake up, people, and learn the facts. Learn the facts. I'll say it again, learn the facts. The facts are, there's wildlife that live in these woods. And you're denying and not aware of what they're obviously known for doing. How hard is that to understand? Okay? When you go out in the woods and you're saying, this tree break is this tree break is this, these fallen limbs and bent limbs are this, you're forgetting the other natural causes. You're denying what's obvious. You're not once do many of you even consider what else it can be. You're saying it's one thing. A lot of you guys are researching and practicing, preaching one-sided stories and theories. So, get the clue, people.
Hello, everyone. Got a question for everybody. Well, before I ask the question, let me throw out this little picture to you. Just think about what I'm saying. Does anyone, or has anyone, ever noticed any of these so-called researchers in their little field videos pointing out and what they're stating as fact when they're claiming it to be common sense, when they're saying this is that, talking about every tree bend. You know, some of this I'm touching base on a little bit what I was getting into yesterday, but this is something serious that you need to consider and listen. This is part of a lot of contradiction in the Bigfoot community. Okay, but hear me out, please hear me out and listen, because you might have noticed this yourself, or maybe you haven't. But in the Bigfoot community, some of these, like I said, so-called researchers, they're making these videos. They see tree structures, they see broken, snapped trees, bent trees, and every one was done by a Bigfoot. And these people even give explanations about why they did it. Some say some of these tree snaps with a few bent over trees are shelters, and you know, some of them are obviously didn't have no roof over them and nothing to take shelter under. But man, they get praised for it. You know, hey, good, you know, cool, you know. But keep in mind, they're saying that all those tree stamps, all those tree bends were a Bigfoot. Okay? They're saying, common sense, people, it's a directional. Common sense, people, it's a bent tree. They bent it over, referring to Bigfoot. Okay? But one in particular individual claims he's tired of hearing all these facts. He's tired about these books. He even brought my name up into it. Said, you know, yeah, he's pissed off at me, and he wanted to get me pissed off. And in part 5 of his video, yeah, he said, yeah, I'm pissing him off intentionally. Well, okay. Well, here's my point. This is the way I'm seeing everything. The man is preaching against books being a problem because he's saying you don't need books to tell you what tree structures and trees and everything do. My book is a guide of research. It's a basic guide to get people to understand. Okay, it's explaining more or less. I broke it down yesterday that not every tree limb is considered. You know, not every tree snap or broken tree or tree bend is from a Sasquatch. Because what I was pointing out yesterday, that we have known animals, bears, especially bears. Bears are very common for it. Bears do that all the time. I said it yesterday. Okay. But what they're stating about, they're making fact. They're claiming what they're saying when they're saying it's common sense. It's also stating that they're fact. For example, common sense, people, when this tree is bent, it's directional. You just made that a fact. But at the same time, you're being hypocritical when you're saying there is no facts. There is no facts. You don't know what you're saying. You're claiming something as fact by saying it's common sense, this is what it is, when you're making speculation. Speculation. Okay? Being hypocritical and contradictive is a big obvious thing here for anyone who's been following your work. Okay? Yes. Yes. I think the name is obvious because on the YouTube channel, and I'm not calling out names, but I'm calling out the YouTube channel, Freddy 59100. Freddy 59100. Part 5 of whatever the rest of it's called. That's his rant. That's his rant. That's on YouTube channel, Freddy 59100. Okay, part 5. Okay, it's a 20-minute long video. Okay, well, man, he got a little hyperventilating. You know, he was hyperventilating there, and in the words of the Joker, why so serious? He was being so serious in the video and calling everything. He was making fact about everything he was claiming. But you know what? He said he didn't like my video because I talk about facts. I do speak about facts, and let me give a rundown about me and my facts. My facts, I'm going to repeat myself for the millionth time because you probably still won't get it. Some of you will still not get it and still understand because you're that ignorant. You're that uneducated. You're that stupid. Okay? But I'm going to say it again. The facts I speak about are real. They're real, acknowledged happenings. And what I'm referring to is wildlife. I figured I'd spell it out right here for you stupid, ignorant dumbasses, okay? Wildlife. They live among us. bears, deer, every known animal that's acknowledged, that's accounted for, that we do know that exists. Okay? Wildlife research, it's what I do. Okay? And when I speak about particular wildlife and their behaviors and their patterns, it's fact. It is real. There's no speculation when it comes to the wildlife. When I speak what I share on known wildlife, it's real stuff. It's real. It's presented publicly. It's real, acknowledged by science. It's real. It's not speculation. It's proof of what's out there and what's happening. There's no speculation. It's not no one's hearsay or say so. It's real. Okay? So why are you making fact out of something that you're claiming to be Bigfoot behavior? You're saying it's common sense that was done by Bigfoot. Really? Where's the common? How's that common sense? Anyone with real common sense would know that you're making fact out of something that's speculation. Okay? I think my point's been clear. Okay? I'm making a point here. Okay? For those who watch your video, maybe you made a point but a point that you did not expect to come out. Okay? I think you made it very clear that you were very contradictory. Alright? That you were very hypocritical. Because you're crying about people talking about facts. Well, apparently you're not listening to what I'm talking about that's referring to the facts, okay? The other part of my research, when it comes to wildlife, I'm presenting what that wildlife does, okay? And a lot of mysterious sounds, mysterious findings that we come across when we're out researching and doing our Bigfoot research. There's a lot of unexplained happenings as far as the sounds, the vocalizations, tree knocks, all the obvious behaviors. And all I did yesterday was compare a species that's known to do that. Primates are known to do that. So do you understand the comparison that I've thrown out to everybody? Okay? To make a comparison is a safe, technique, okay? Comparison is a tool of the mind that we need to observe and look at and analyze. Simple as that, people. Really. I mean, Bigfoot's not even real to many scientists. Okay? So, how is it common sense? You can't tell a non-believer, you can't tell a skeptic, well, common sense, a Sasquatch did it. Really? If it's real common sense is something related to acknowledged, publicly, widely known. That should be widely known. Sasquatch is not widely known. Sasquatch is not discovered. Sasquatch is not acknowledged to mainstream science. Mainstream science it does not exist. Yes, there is a few scientists who are considering the possibility. Yeah, they're skeptics. Okay? I think my ranting and my words make a lot of sense. But there's going to be a few of you, it makes no sense. There's going to be a few of you that are hearing me right now that don't have a clue about what I'm saying. That's because you need to take yourself out of this line, out of these forums, and stop paying attention to what I'm saying, because you don't get no clue. It's not making no sense to you. But I hope, for those who do understand me, I hope you guys are enjoying my new webcast right here. Okay? It's not going to stop. I'm going to continue to share research. I'm going to compare research. I'm going to compare and present notes. I'm going to compare and show you illustrations. And that's the way I'm going to present it to you. I'm going to teach you what I'm doing, okay? I'm not going to teach you what others are doing, because I don't know what others are doing. I don't know what kind of statements they're doing. I don't know what kind of research they're doing. But I'm going to look into it. I'm going to study them. I'm going to observe them. But I'm going to share it with you. And we're going to talk about it. That's what we're here for. Research. There's a lot to learn with known species. I'm taking the Bigfoot side and pointing it over off to the far side. I'm looking at everything, all right, from a skeptic's point of view. I'm learning to be a little bit more objective. I'm a very level-headed person, okay? I'm very level-headed. And yes, I'm going to tell you, it's very easy. It's very easy to dwell on the path of us wanting to be Bigfoot. We want that finding to be from Bigfoot. We want that tree break to be from Bigfoot. But we can't do that, people. We can't do that. That's not right. It's not normal. We got to be objective. If we're going to learn anything, start being objective first, okay? Stop assuming. That's the biggest problem in this community. We assume, we fantasize, we're dreaming. No, I'm presenting reality. I'm speaking reality. I'm speaking truth. Okay? So, again, go check out Freddy 59100. Subscribe if you want. Follow the work. You know, it's cool. Subscribe to Freddy 59100. Check out one of his latest videos. It's a 20-minute long video. It's called Part 5 Ranting or Checking Things Out or whatever it is. But it's one of his latest videos from a day or so old. Alright. And listen to the whole thing. But you know, you'll hear how he putting out what he's calling fact, but then again he turns right back around and talk about people who talk about fact, because he's very contradictory. You'll hear what I mean. You hear it for yourself. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from me. Listen to what he's saying, and you might remember my words, and what I say might actually start making sense to you. Just like the research I present to you, it's real. I'm a wildlife researcher and a Bigfoot researcher. But in order for us to research Bigfoot, Sasquatch, that's not acknowledged or that has not been discovered, you have to understand what's among you. That's why I'm here to present it to you. Okay? Gotta be logical. Gotta think. You have to start thinking for yourself. Think. Just whatever. We have to start being more objective of presented evidence. We need to start being a little bit more level-headed. Okay? Step out of the fantasy. Step out of dreamland. Come to reality. Come down to earth. Okay? Come down to earth. Alright. But what this webcast is about research. Both wildlife, Bigfoot, cryptid, our known wildlife, etc., etc. It's also about comparing notes. When I say compare notes to other researchers and see what other researchers are saying, and present to you what might, keep in mind what I just said. Keep in mind, I will share from others. I stated that in my promos. I will be sharing others' research. I'll be sharing what others have to say. Alright? You got a lot of them that, make these claims like I've been presented to you. But they argue and cry about one thing, and they're just being so hypocritical. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, but true. So true. Many hypocrites in the Bigfoot community, so watch who you deal with. It might be your best friend. Your best friend might be fooling you. Could be your brother. Your brother might be fooling you. Seriously, it could be anybody among you. You could be their friend, you could be their best friend and hang out with them all, but stop listening to their crap. Unless you could prove that what they're saying is more legit, more logical. I'd rather listen to somebody who could teach me something, that has more support versus just a claim. Okay? Because I try to present my research, I try to present it with something to back it up, okay? Something logical to back it up. I try to present something that explains why, if I am claiming it, such as anything with fact that I state with fact is usually related to our known wildlife. And when I say known wildlife, you're going to hear me talk a lot about primates. Alright? Yeah, a lot of people hate hearing me talk about primates. Because if you listen to yesterday's webcast, Research, Truth, check it out. You might be interested. Check it out. A lot about what I do on this here might sound like a lot of ranting, a lot of blabbing on, but if you're not hearing what's supposed to be coming from up here going into your brain, well, I mean, I can't make this make sense to a lot of you. A lot of you are ignorant. I mean, I've already noticed that just from posting my first one yesterday. There's so much ignorance in the Bigfoot community, so little education, so very little common sense. Because if anyone listened and heard what I was presenting, will know that my facts were about our known wildlife. Okay? You know, I don't know where else to go with this, because just think about it, okay? Everyone's so quick to jump somebody and judge somebody, but they're not quick to question them. That's one of our big errors. Learn to question those who you doubt. Okay? You got people making these blunt claims, but nothing to back it up. They have no evidence. And they're calling it fact, but with no evidence. They're calling it fact with no evidence. Okay? But yet they're ranting on those who do have the real facts and trying to say he's a liar. Okay? No, I'm not going to settle for that. When I'm being called a liar, you better have a reason. You better have something to back up what you're saying. Okay? Because some of you are so uneducated with no common sense, saying that what I say, if I say I'm speaking fact, don't say it's not fact unless you investigated it yourself. You have no proof to say it's not fact. I have the proof to say it is fact. I present it to you. It's common sense. Wildlife. If you don't know what they do, if you don't trust what I'm saying, it's because you don't get out. Apparently, you don't get out. I know some of you are disabled, but apparently I'm learning recently it's more than your physicalness that's disabled. You're mentally disabled. Because you can't think for yourself. You can't think common sense. Common sense is nothing that's given to you. You got to develop it. Think about what I said. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to present research. I'm a researcher, a wildlife researcher, okay? And I will look into the subject of Bigfoot a little more. But we're going to start looking into wildlife research. That's what we're going to start doing. When I see evidence presented of alleged Sasquatch Bigfoot evidence, I'm going to analyze it to the best of my ability. And if I find a fault or error with it, I'm going to present to you why. Think about it. Judgment Day is coming. Subscribe to this channel.